Breaking news! The Denver Broncos made a bold move during the second round of the 2025 NFL Draft, trading back not once, but twice, before selecting UCF running back Harvey with the 60th overall pick. The atmosphere behind the scenes at the Denver Broncos is heating up, and I have some important updates to break down for you. We all know that the Broncos are laser-focused on getting back to the Super Bowl, and for that to happen, Sean Payton will need a roster packed with quality talent. I'll explain everything that's unfolding, but before we dive deeper, make sure you smash that like button if you're a true Denver Broncos fan. And if you've been a Broncos fan for over 20 years, drop a comment saying, "Go Broncos! My heart bleeds orange and blue." Harvey is not your traditional bruiser back like some others that were on the board. Think Amarian Hampton, Caleb Johnson, or Quinton Judkins. Standing at 5 feet 8 inches and weighing 205 pounds, Harvey profiles much more as a dynamic, committee-style back. Sean Payton clearly has a vision for this offense, and Harvey fits the mold. Payton's long been known for employing a rotation of backs rather than leaning heavily on a single bell cow runner, a philosophy he's carried over from his New Orleans days right into Denver. Now, Harvey's journey to this point hasn't been a smooth, straight line. He started at Virginia, where he redshirted, then transferred to UCF. His early years were marred by bad timing and injury, a mere 3 carries during the pandemic-shortened 2020 season and a complete loss of the 2021 season to a torn ACL. It wasn't until 2023 that he truly broke out, finally healthy and becoming a full-time starter. And when he got his chance, he delivered 2 strong seasons, capped off by being named first-team All-Big 12, piling up over 1,500 yards in his final season. Still, some scouts question whether his later breakout was a product of simply being older and more physically developed than the defenders he faced. After all, at 24 years old, he was often competing against much younger players. But don't let that cloud the fact that his skills are very real. Dane Brugler's analysis highlights his patience behind the line of scrimmage, his ability to let blocks develop, and his instinctive field vision, traits sorely needed after the Broncos' struggles at the position last season. However, Harvey does have his limitations. He's not going to overpower defenders with sheer physicality. His size simply doesn't allow for that. And while he's quicker than fast, able to make sharp lateral cuts and maintain balance through contact, he doesn't have that breakaway home run speed that you might expect from smaller backs. Still, his fundamentals, especially his patience and ability to find lanes, offer a strong foundation for him to become a valuable part of Denver's offensive arsenal. And let's clear something up. Just because he's a smaller back doesn't automatically make him a premier receiving threat. Harvey caught 20 passes for 267 yards last season, but it wasn't a significant feature of UCF's offense. There's potential there, but it remains largely untapped. Sean Payton may be eyeing that developmental upside, trusting his staff to mold Harvey into a more complete back over time. Denver's decision to trade back twice before selecting Harvey wasn't just about adding this intriguing prospect. It was a shrewd move that gave them extra draft capital. Starting at pick 51, they moved back with the Carolina Panthers, moving up from pick 85 to 74 in the 3rd round. Then, a second trade with the Detroit Lions allowed them to jump an astounding 100 spots in the later rounds by sliding back just 3 spots. These savvy trades show that Sean Payton and George Payton are playing the long game, trying to maximize their assets while still getting players they believe in. The addition of Harvey reshapes the Broncos' backfield into a true committee. Audric Estime is likely going to be the goal line and short yardage specialist. Jaleel McLaughlin will continue to shine in 3rd down and change of pace roles. Harvey fits in as a versatile option for early downs, able to keep the offense moving consistently without necessarily needing to hit home runs. It's a very New Orleans Saints-style blueprint, multiple backs, multiple looks, always keeping defenses guessing. The big question looming, though, is whether passing on bigger names like Amarian Hampton and Caleb Johnson will come back to haunt the Broncos. Both of those backs profile as classic workhorse runners who could have offered that every down presence. But that might not fit the kind of offense Sean Payton envisions here in Denver. He's prioritizing fit and scheme over individual flash, aiming to build a system where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. While some fans might be lukewarm initially, especially considering the lack of star power, there's a lot to be optimistic about with Harvey. He brings a different dimension to the Broncos' offense, and if developed properly, he could thrive in a role that suits his strengths perfectly. Remember, this is an offense that hasn't had a consistent 100-yard rusher since Latavius Murray at the end of the 2022 season. Harvey might just be the fresh start they desperately need. The strategy the Broncos employed in selecting Harvey signals more than just a preference for a particular style of running back. It represents a deeper commitment to the identity Sean Payton is crafting for this team. Denver doesn't seem to be looking for the flashy, headline-grabbing players at every position. Instead, they are seeking players who bring specific skills that align precisely with the scheme, the culture, and the future direction of the organization. Harvey's skill set, patience, vision, and lateral quickness fits that philosophy perfectly. What's fascinating is how this pick complements what the Broncos have been building since Sean Payton arrived. He's repeatedly emphasized the importance of discipline, versatility, and depth. RJ Harvey embodies those traits. He's a grinder, someone who had to fight back from serious injury, who didn't have a fairy tale rise through college football but instead methodically earned his place through hard work and resilience. That's the type of player who often thrives in Payton's system, not necessarily the most hyped prospect, but one who is coachable and adaptable. Digging even deeper into Harvey's potential role, while he may begin his career sharing touches on first and second downs, there's a real chance he could carve out a bigger role if he proves durable and productive, especially with the Broncos expected to lean heavily on the run game to support whoever is under center in 2025. Harvey's ability to grind out tough yards and stay on schedule for the offense could quickly make him a fan favorite. You can already imagine those cold mile-high afternoons where Harvey is picking up crucial third and shorts, keeping drives alive. But there's another angle here that deserves attention, the risk factor. With Harvey's history of injuries, including the ACL tear that wiped out his 2021 season, there's always going to be a lingering concern about durability. Running back is already one of the most physically punishing positions in the NFL, and smaller backs generally have an even slimmer margin for error. Denver is betting that Harvey's recent clean bill of health and back-to-back productive seasons are a sign that he's moved past those concerns. There's also the question of whether Harvey can grow into a more dynamic pass catcher. As it stands, Denver doesn't have a true dual-threat running back who can dominate as a receiver out of the backfield. McLaughlin shows flashes, but he's still developing. Harvey's fundamentals suggest he could make that leap with proper coaching, but it remains a projection at this point. If he could expand his role into the passing game, his value would skyrocket and give the Broncos offense a much-needed layer of unpredictability. Now, looking at the broader context of the draft, Denver's maneuvering, trading back twice and accumulating extra picks, hints at a front office that's thinking beyond just this season. They're building depth, giving themselves more shots at finding contributors in the middle and late rounds. In a league where injuries and attrition are constant, the teams that can find hidden gems on day 2 and day 3 of the draft often separate themselves from the pack. Adding RJ Harvey while still stockpiling picks shows a smart balance between filling an immediate need and investing in the team's future. And you can't talk about this pick without mentioning the comparison to the Saints running back rooms of the past. Sean Payton had tremendous success pairing backs with complementary skill sets, think Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram, or even going back to Pierre Thomas and Reggie Bush. So now, Broncos country, I turn the question to you. Are you excited about what RJ Harvey brings to the backfield? Do you believe he can become a key piece in Denver's quest to build a championship-caliber offense? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's talk about it. And of course, if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more exclusive Broncos content, and check out the videos popping up right now on your screen for even more in-depth draft coverage. Go Broncos!